we are in our first match. I'm on the play. It's perfect. And, well, I think I'm going to keep this, but I hope we draw a creature. A little bit of an awkward hand. We can rip a creature or two off the top of the deck. This hand's going to be amazing, but if we don't do that, it's really problematic. Canopy. Wow. So the good news is we drew a creature. It's also pretty good that we can play the Bomat Courier, crew up the Copter, and still have a red mana open to madness out this Fiery Temper. So this is actually going to work out great. Wow. Hopefully we can draw a land. Would have been better to draw one, but still gonna be happy with what I got. A Reflector Mage would actually be super annoying here. Thalia. That's a good card. So I'm not attacking on the ground this turn. I'm inclined to just crew up the Copter and then probably just play the Scrapheap Scrounger. And plan on killing the Thalia next turn. Ooh, Foreboding Ruins is nice. I think with all of this removal, I can probably get rid of a Copter. What? I didn't do anything. I feel like someone switched the hotkeys on me. That was pretty bad. Well, now I'm probably priced into killing the tracker. Rather unfortunate. Okay, someone did change the hotkeys on me. Well, that's pretty bad. I'm using the Gathering Magic account, and I guess something I should watch out for. Someone changed the hotkey. The thing that I'm really going to be worried about is an absent. Gideon would be pretty good too, but wow. We are up against a quality brew. Now is it time for a Reflector Mage? Sure, I'll take it. so here I get to... My opponent's basically dead. Pretty insane that I have my opponent dead at this point, and like so little has even happened. I didn't even like properly use my mana 2 times in a row. Really speaks of how far ahead I am. Now, even if my opponent does have something like Spell Queller, I still have the Lightning Axe. That's not going to be good enough. Wow, this is insane. We like missed our 3rd land drop, and then I didn't use my mana on turns 3 or 4, and we still won. I guess part of that is just like a testament to the strength of Smuggler's Copter, but still. Yeah, the burn certainly helped. Yeah, pretty unreal. I have to apologize. I might also be a little out of it today. I kind of had like food poisoning yesterday, so just had like my first meal of solid foods right before we started recording. So I like Key to the City against Ishkana. Not sure how much I like it here. I think that just 2 Chandras is going to be what I want. Also make a strong case for Goblin Dark-Dwellers because of how good it is against Spell Queller and Reflector Mage. But I'd rather go with the more efficient card simply because I mean I'm only like there's only 23 lands in this deck and my opponent can kill me. So maybe I want Chandra when I'm on the play, but I want Dark-Dwellers when I'm on the draw. I feel like that would make sense. I'm also not very good at blocking. I'm good again at killing most things, but affecting the Chandra might be a little tricky. I'd rather have the Chandra. Also wouldn't be crazy to have Galvanic Bombardment, but I think Chandra's what I want. I do think it's a tough call between Chandra and Dark-Dweller, but I think I definitely want one of those cards in Key to the City, and then I don't really want to change anything else. My general suite of creatures and removal, I think is pretty good and pretty synergistic, so you don't want to mess with it too much. My hand is not particularly good, but it's certainly not a situation where I would want to mulligan. There's a chance. Oh, man. I'm really not with it. Got to attack. I was getting ready to discuss the merits of playing Inventor's Apprentice first in case my opponent plays something like Selfless Spirit. But in doing so, I just forgot to attack. So just total slugfest. Basically was not able to eat anything yesterday, so still kind of in recovery mode. So if I hadn't drawn Smuggler's Copter, I would have considered just Fiery Tempering this Reflector Mage. But I get to play 2 cards this turn and use up all my mana, so seems pretty good to me. So here I have some options. I think what I want to do is just crew the Copter and cast Fiery Temper on the Reflector Mage. I assume that my opponent is representing Spell Queller here. If it wasn't for Spell Queller, the easy play would just attack with Inventor's Apprentice too. But I think I'm just going to attack with the Copter. Ooh, Stasis Snare. Well, if that's what's going on, I think that I'm just going to play Bloodhall Priest. It's like my biggest, most powerful spell. And then on this upcoming turn, hopefully I can play my land, Fire Temper, and Scrapheap Scrounger. That'll still mean that I'll have a card in my hand, the one that I draw, as a... I won't get the Bloodhall Priest trigger, but... My opponent plays a land and says go. I am going to have to worry about Archangel Avacyn, which is a problem. This looks like it's going to work out fine. Might as well play my land just in case my opponent has the counterspell. Wow, he has a negate? That's crazy. Alright, well. I could attack with the Bloodhall Priest, but I don't really want to trade it if I don't have to. Like a pretty powerful card that can really start to dominate the game. So My opponent has Avacyn, though. This could obviously be disastrous. My opponent doesn't play anything this turn. I'm gonna have to be really careful about what I choose to do. My opponent doesn't do anything on his turn. I may just play my Scrounger and say go. Anything either. Depending on what I draw, I may even just... Oh, takes care of that question. This does mean that essentially my whole board is being held at bay by this Thalia. That's pretty annoying. I'm doing this before, like, I could choose to not do this. Correct the clue. I could just play the Foreboding Ruins and the Scrapheap Scrounger and then just attack with Bomat Courier, get an extra card underneath it, and then before block, sack it. And sort of then decide what to do. But kind of hoping that I'd be able to draw into a removal spell. What? Didn't I click on this? Oh yeah, Talia. Oh well. But I think now that we're here, I am going to do this. Cards. So not exactly what I wanted, but digging a little closer to some removal spells for this pesky Thalia. Do you have to worry about whatchamacallit? Color? So this looks to me like Avacyn. Oh, no Avacyn. Like spell queller's still gotta be on the radar. Been a couple turns where my opponent's conveniently had 3 mana open. So it's a little tricky to navigate. I could attack with the 2 Scrapheap Scroungers and suicide one into the Advocate, but I don't have any other I guess I'll go for this. At the worst, I'm gonna lose one of them. Ooh, a Copter. I feel like my opponent would have Spellquellered that if he had been able to. Maybe my opponent's not actually working with very much in his hand. Still a little weird, though. I think I want to run the double, or I guess the triple block. Right. Well, I still get to double block the Thalia. All's not lost. And now my graveyard has enough artifacts where probably throw both the Scrapheap Scroungers at my opponent. I'm dead to just a single removal spell, but kind of flooded out this game. Guess I'm technically not dead. Certainly not looking good, though. At least I only have one chump block this turn. Obviously, very good. And being at 2 is rough. Oh, that's bad. Now I need like a Declaration Stone. Except for the fact that I'm not playing white. Fiery Temper is not going to cut it. Alright. So, after seeing the Sylvan Advocates, I'm a little less inclined to play Chandra. But I guess I don't really have a better option. I have the 3 Lightning Axes and 4 Unlicensed Disintegrations. So I think I will just keep the Chandra. I think I will actually have a hard time keeping her around. The negate really blew me away too. I guess I'll have the Dark Dweller. See how this goes. Right, we'll keep it. So I think that I mean, I could get greedy and just play a Mountain and the Courier, but I think I'd rather make sure that I hit Smuggler's Copter on turn 2. So a little less greedy with what I got going on. My land drop, as you can see, is not guaranteed. that hurts. Ouch. That is certainly what my opponent needed there. See if he has a Reflector Mage. Oh, certainly a good draw. Nice that I can keep reloading, but I'm having a hard time with the attacks. This Lightning Axe plus Fiery Temper is super sweet, but doesn't really do anything right now. Would love it if my opponent had a Spell Queller and then tapped out for something. Well, if my opponent played a... Well, this is still great for me. Oh, no, actually, the Reflector Mage has Hexproof. That's super annoying. And he's got a bunch of other humans, so... Wow, the Hexproof there is super relevant. I wish I had another land. I don't really want to just bolt my opponent's face. Much rather use that Fire Temper on one of his creatures. Brutal. Certainly looks like Avacyn. Playing this free combat because if my opponent then Spell Quellers it, I'm free to attack. Wow. Hmm. I have 2 Scrapheap Scroungers in my graveyard, but nothing else. I think I'm just going to hold off on the attack. Yuck. In a situation where basically both of us aren't really doing anything, I haven't really minded that I wasn't making any headway, but as soon as my opponent lands something like Pharaoh's Tracker, all of a sudden he can start pulling away in the game. That's a problem. Well, that was... Oh my god. Well, let's see if this works. Really hope it does. Or it might just have like a negate. Really thinking about it. Wow. The negate in this matchup does kind of blow me away. Not gonna lie. Hopefully I get to use this Unlicensed Integration to good effectiveness. If I had more mana, I could really start... Well... If I had more mana, that would be... Alright, well... My opponent doesn't have a land. He has Avacyn, I want to force him to use it. Blessed Alliance. And he's gaining 4 life. Yuck. Sylvan Advocate's not actually the end of the world, although it is pretty bad. So what do I want to do here? I can Lightning Axe, discarding the swamp, and getting back Scrapheap Scrounger. I think I'd rather get my Pia onto the board first. The reason I want to get the Pia onto the board first is just so that I have more to attack with. Wow, my opponent has all the like hyper efficient but situational interactive stuff. Wow, and he didn't attack there, so that means I should have be able to make a pretty good read that he can't actually like do anything. One thing that's annoying is I don't actually have I can kill the Sylvan Advocate, but I don't actually have any good attacks. Be annoying. Still kind of want to just play all my stuff though. Guess I'm better off Lightning Axing during my opponent's upkeep. Yeah. And then with Pia, even my Bomat Courier can push through a Reflector Mage, so oh, come on. Well, at least my Scrapheap Scrounger can push through that with Pia. Works. Oh, removal spell. Sweet. I think if I were my opponent, I would have just taken the 3 there. Ooh, bummer. I wonder what the last card in my opponent's hand is. I wonder if it's just a land. Ooh, Unlicensed Disintegration. Nice. I think we're going to hold off on it, though. Yeah. Could attack with Bomat Courier, but if my opponent blocked, I don't actually think the best use of my mana is to trade there. And these Scrapheap Scroungers, especially with Pia, are really good. If my opponent had more cards in hand, I'd be more worried about a sweeper. But I've got these Scrapheap Scroungers. I've got a removal spell. I've got a Pia, so I can reload pretty well. Man, the Fragmentize on the Scrapheap Scrounger is just a losing battle. I only have left though, which is kind of annoying. Guess I'll get it back anyway. I think it's hexproof. Hexproof is downright dirty. Here I think I'm fine attacking just everything. The only visible blockers, Lumbering Falls. If my opponent has a an Avacyn, I'd be able to unlicense Disintegration it. I'm gonna get a nice big chunk of damage through no matter what. Nice. Next one.